But for some reason, I'm supposed to know as a woman that that man, when he got in his 30s, was going to be a felon, that he's going to have multiple kids by multiple baby mamas, and I'm baby mama number one. How am I supposed to know what that man is and isn't going to do, what choices he is and is not going to make, and what life plan he has in his own independent life?
Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos, and welcome to another episode of He Rants. I am your host, Felix Long Trousers.
Hey, Daddy!
All right, let's not waste no more time. Let's get right into this.
I asked my husband the other day, I said, as a single father, has any man or woman ever told you that you just chose bad and you don't know how to choose people and it's your fault while you were a single dad and you don't know how to use discernment? Like, what negative feedback have you ever gotten from being a dad that decided to stay and take care of your daughter? He said nothing. Nobody. Not nobody.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Before I let the video go on, because I feel like I see where she's trying to go with this, right? I see where she's trying to go with this, and we got to say this. Men and women aren't the same. But men and women are not the same, all right? But the reason why I feel like he doesn't receive that is because, I mean, we're dudes. Women, you have to understand, you're the one who's going to have to birth this child. This child's going to come out of you. And this is not to take away accountability from the dude, because he definitely got to pick the right joint. You feel me? But you're the one who's going to be most likely have to hold the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, the baby's going to come out of you. It's going to stay most likely with you. You're going to take the brunt force of this. So when you're out there picking the guy who you want to ejaculate inside your crevice, you got to pick accordingly. You're like, yo, if this guy leaves, I'm stuck with this child. The dude, it's a little bit easier for him. As messed up as it sounds, he can go out to get his pack of cigarettes and milk and never come back. That's just the reality of it at the end of the day. So his options out there to look and pick the right girl to, release his juices inside of, it's not the same. He doesn't have as much pushback. If he can really he can leave the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can do a lot of things. And just, like I said, not to take away accountability from the guy. I'm just telling you why it's a little bit different, man. But let's keep on.
Nobody. Not nobody. So the thing about it is that he took care of his kid and he stayed because the mama left and just dipped. I take care of my son because his daddy did. But for some reason, I'm a demon. I'm a horrible person. Even though that woman just one day decided to leave and that man just decided to leave, the same decisions, two adults that decided they didn't want to be active in their kid's life no more. But for some reason, the woman is the one. Like, didn't nobody say, well, you should have got to know her better, or how you didn't know that she was going to leave you and leave?
No. Listen. Let's be real. Dudes is going to say that. Dude's gonna say that. Dude's like, bro, why did you have a baby with this crazy joint? Like, dude's gonna say that. We're gonna hold the guys accountable. So I don't know, like, when he's saying that no one really came up to him and told him, like, oh, you made a right decision. That's wild to me. I'm trying to figure out who his buddies are for real. Because I'll tell Cub, like, bro, why did you have a baby with this joint, son? Like, and I think the reason is a lot of women, right? We all seen a lot of women that have a guy that's in front of them and you can look and tell, like, this guy is no good whatsoever. You will beat it into her head. This guy is no good. You could do the same thing for a guy. Trust me. You can say the same thing, the guy's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But like I said earlier on, somebody has more to lose than the other, right? Somebody has more to lose than the other. So it's like, we're telling you, like, yo, this guy is no good. This guy has done this. Don't mess with this guy. And you still do it. You still end up having a baby with this person. And don't get me wrong. It's good that you stayed with the child, but it's almost like you're expected to, in a sense, right? You just gave birth to the child. You notice this is another reason why in the court system, the child is, most times they fight for custody. The woman wins. It's just one of those things. So as opposed to the guy, it's like, damn, like, how did the dude get the child? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that girl must have been really effed up. She must have been off her rockers. And she, those are the factors, like,
gonna leave you to raise your daughter by yourself. You should have known how you didn't know. Didn't nobody ever say that to him? But for some reason, I'm supposed to know as a woman that that man, when he got in his 30s, was going to be a felon, that he's going to have multiple kids by multiple baby mamas, and I'm baby mama number one. How am I supposed to know what that man is and isn't going to do, what choices he is and is not going to make, and what life plan he has in his own independent life? I ain't even who I said I wanted to be at 38 years old. And you blaming me for the reason he not who he said he was going to be and who he wanted to be at the same age? Then who fault is it that I'm not where I want?
Like I said, I keep repeating myself, right? I keep repeating myself. Most of the time, dudes are not good actors. Dudes are not good pretenders. Women are been known throughout history that they're able to manipulate. They're able to make, personas out there. They're able to show like, oh, I'm somebody different. I'm a good, caring, blah, blah, blah. I do all this stuff, right? When I hear women say that about guys, like, oh, this guy tricked me and blah, 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 and then I see the guy, I'm like, this guy tricked you? Like, even when you show me before the situation, like, took place, I'm like, bro, you can look at this guy and tell the type of guy he is. A lot of the time, the red flags is right there in front of your face. Don't get me wrong, right? There's some guys who are complete idiots. We got, like, the Travis Hunters out there, right? We got those guys that are complete idiots and dumb. There's dum-dums. But for the most part, it's in your face. It's right. It's right there. And also, keep in mind, the single fathers is scarce. It's really, really scarce.
And also keep in mind, there's more guys in their 30s that have no kids than there are women in their 30s that have no kids. Like, keep that in mind. So that's telling you something. A lot of these women are having babies with the same guys. And a lot of the guys are a lot smarter on who they're having babies with. I know some people are going to say, oh, but there's also abortion. Yeah, there's that too, man. But you can use that excuse on both sides.
So it's not like this is happening on a daily basis. The other side is usually out there doing the thing. And also, you got to think about this, too. Because a lot of people is going to get mad at me and say, like, Felix, you're being biased. You guys already knew that. The moment you clicked on this video, you guys know I'm a certified misogynist. So, of course, I'm going to be biased, right? But when you look at single mother households, right, the way they like the children being raised have a higher likelihood of going to prison, also taking resources, taxpayer resources. Single fathers, they usually have to get out the mud. They have to do everything themselves for the most part. They're not having all these other, state-funded help, federal government helping them as much and all that stuff. So a lot of people see single moms as like, yo, you went out there, got a guy who's clearly anyone could tell you that was no good. And she's trying to say like, oh, how was I supposed to know he's going to be? Trust me. You can look at the guy and tell the type of character that he shows. You can see and look at him if he has, don't get me wrong, there's outliers. But for the most part, you could tell the type of guy he is from the get-go. Right? There's guys that I've known in middle school that I knew how they were going to be as we got older. Like it's that obvious. It's really that obvious sometimes. Like I said, there's outlier cases. For the most part, though, we know. So when we see the single mom with the child, we're looking at it like, okay, this is about to be a negative return on investment to the community. Like it's gonna be children that's gonna most likely grow up to be hoodlums, statistically speaking. And even when it comes to the single fathers, there's a higher likelihood that child isn't gonna go up. Look at the stats. The stats are single fathers and parents with dad and mom at home, they have similar outcomes, which is crazy, which is telling you the common denominator is the dads is doing good jobs as opposed to the moms. That's just what the stats are showing. I mean, it's a lot of factors that play a role in this, right? And then you also hear a lot of stories of the guys who are coming out saying like, this girl tricked me and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes, there's some bad apples when it comes to the women, right? There's some bad apples of, oh, you kept the child away because of situations. You hear a lot of those stories too. So it leaves a nasty taste in the mouth. And there's a lot of good single moms out there that do what they have to do in order for their child to be good. And, they were a good person and they just got the bad end of the stick. Yeah, but it's few and far between. It's few and far between, man. If you go down to the lore of if you talk to a single mom, if you really go down and really inspect and really listen to their story and find little knickknacks in their story, you'll figure out that they threw themselves in here. Just like the single father for the most part. The single father is the same thing. But like I said, the numbers is greatly different. But what do I know, man? I'm just a misogynistic bigot online that's out here to see the world crash and burn. But if you stay this long, I appreciate y'all. I love you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as with the post notifications. All that fun stuff. Leave a comment. Maybe we can conversate. Maybe I'm wrong completely and we can figure out like why I'm wrong, son. Give me some stats or something like that. Or you can just yell at me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's all love at the end of the day. Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos. And I'm out.